mouthpiece in. All right. I gave you both instructions in the dressing room. I want to remind you, listen and obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Fight hard, fight clean. Good luck to both of you.
Boxing purists have been salivating in anticipation of this vacant featherweight championship bout between two blue-chip prospects who have gotten, at this point, taking very divergent paths.
You ready? You ready?
Veteran referee Jack Reese calls for the opening bell. Vasyl Lomachenko in the black. Garry Russell Jr. in the white with gold trim. Russell Jr. known for maybe being one of the fastest fighters in the sport, while Lomachenko will have a size advantage, and many people believe that, technically speaking, he's just a little bit better, Al.
You know, the difference is hand speed edge probably for Russell. Lomachenko, a better body puncher and a little bigger, as you point out.
One thing Russell has to be careful. He's got fast hands, but he's always throwing up punches at the same speed. It's a pattern I've noticed in his career. He's got to be careful and mix up the speed tonight because Lomachenko can get his timing.
Couple of right hands to the side of the head by Garry Russell. A battle of southpaws.
Lomachenko landed a very nice right to the body. He's going to be throwing that punch a lot.
In April, Golden Boy outbid Top Rank by a mere $2,500 to put on this fight. $1,052,500 to $1,050,000. And because of WBO rule number 13, which reads, if the fight is held in the country of origin, residence, or nationality of one of the contenders, the resident contestant shall receive 40% as opponent, 60% of the total purse. So both of them making career-high purses. Lomachenko making 60%, Russell 40%.
Lomachenko landed a really good right hook about 25 seconds ago or so. It'll be interesting to see as he got Russell now on the back foot as Russell tries to reestablish his jab.
Just past the midpoint of the opening round.
The right hook of Lomachenko, a big weapon already in this fight.
You know, he's landed to the body a few seconds ago as well, Al, good point.
Both of them missing with shots.
He's got Russell backing up now after having landed, showing him a little bit of that power.
Lomachenko leaning on the smaller Garry Russell Jr. Quick jab by Lomachenko.
You can already tell. Some thought this might be just a technical boxing match. We can tell already. This is going to be a firefight with skill.
Russell's got to mix it up. He's starting to get countered. It's like I said, he's throwing everything at the same speed. You cannot do that with a guy of the pedigree of Lomachenko. You got to mix in feints in there. You got to mix the speed. Good body shot by Lomachenko.
Beautiful three-punch combination by Lomachenko. Left hand to the body. Left hand upstairs by Russell to counter Lomachenko's body attack. Right hook by Lomachenko. And the jab through the guard. Russell parrying the jab. Final 10 seconds of the opening round. And again, Lomachenko catches Russell with a right hook to the chin.
Great round from Vasyl Lomachenko.
Lomachenko landing combinations very effectively. The straight left, throws to the right. He is pushing Garry Russell back and setting the pace. As for Garry Russell, what does he need to do in this match? Well, he's got to win the battle of the jabs. Didn't necessarily do that. We have not seen many combinations yet from him. And he can't throw wide hooks where he will get countered by Lomachenko. As for Lomachenko, guess what? Does this look familiar? Yes, I think he needs to win the battle of the jabs. He has already set the pace, not allowing Russell to fight at his own pace. And has he gone downstairs? Yes, with some very good body punches.
The bell and round number 2. Lomachenko, a natural right-hander, but when he first started, his father put him in the left-handed stance, and he's been a southpaw stylist ever since. Meanwhile, for Garry Russell, as he pops the piston-like jab, he has faced 3 southpaws in his 9 most recent fights. Lomachenko faced 2 lefties, both under the World Series of Boxing banner.
Russell getting busier with the jab early in this round, and that's important for him.
That's what you want to see from Russell. He needs to answer back a little bit.
Russell parries the jab, misses with a jab of his own. Leaning in, Lomachenko goes to the body. There's the jab and a left hand to the body by Lomachenko.
A good catch and shoot by Russell there. He came back with his own right hook to the top.
The pressure of Lomachenko in this fight, and he's been continual with it in his first round and a half. How much of an impact will it have as this fight goes on against Russell?
Russell blocks that right hook by Lomachenko. High guard by Russell, doing a good job of blocking those shots by Lomachenko, who continues to be the aggressor.
Lomachenko, almost 400 amateur fights, 396-1 record. Essentially better than most pros are, and that's why he's fighting for a world championship in just his third pro fight.
And against Salido in that second pro fight, official pro fight, he faced everything. Salido was about 20 pounds bigger than him. Salido fought obviously outside the rules, so he faced a lot. That quick start in this round for Garry Russell has evaporated a little bit, and Lomachenko is starting to find his rhythm in this round.
We mentioned the fact that Vasyl Lomachenko has also toiled for the World Series of Boxing, which he was paid for, and there's been some dispute, some feeling that he should be 7-1 with the World Series of Boxing fights on his record, but officially for this fight he is 1-1 and looking again to equal that mark.
His comments are that, you know, I fought all amateurs, so that makes me feel they were amateur fights. So that's his viewpoint. Either way, he is far advanced, and that was a beautiful right hook to the body.
And to be fair to him, I've heard that World Series of Boxing fighters were told that their fights would not go on their professional records, despite the fact they were remunerated.
But nonetheless, he's still the best fighter Garry Russell has fought in his career.
By far, yeah. And we're seeing evidence of that here.
Leo Santa Cruz in the house, one of the more fan-friendly fighters in boxing, the super bantamweight champion. Looking forward to seeing him back in action. He's out with his family tonight.
Everything's good.
Enjoying the action with his little girl. And
Everything. Don't go to the body, go to the head. Move in, move out, move in, move out.
Try it plus, Papa. Try it plus. Try. Deep breath, deep breath. Excess free sauce.
third round begins. Again, Lomachenko, a double Olympic gold medalist, winning in consecutive Olympics in 2008 and 2012. Three boxers, won gold in 3 Olympics. Cuba's Teofimo Stevenson and Felix Savon, and Hungary's Laszlo Papp, the only 3 to win 3 Olympic gold medals. Not bad, Al.
No, that isn't too bad. These two fighters threw a lot of punches in round 2. 97 for Russell and 105 for Lomachenko, so they're throwing.
Rapid-fire jabs from Russell, backing up Lomachenko.
First time in the fight, Russell has moved forward to try and back Lomachenko up.
Good body attack by Russell.
First couple of rounds, Russell got off to quick starts, and then it was evened up by Lomachenko. I want to see if he can consistently fight the whole 3 minutes.
It's a really good point.
Having Lomachenko respect him. And he starts to back up again. Let's see what happens.
That's a great point, Paulie.
Among active fighters, China's Zhu Shiming, a flyweight, also won Olympic gold twice. He's 4-0 as a pro, and in this fight now, we thought we'd see the battle of the jabs. There's a couple of jabs from Lomachenko. Quick exchange, and Lomachenko with a stiff jab through the guard of Russell.
He also landed a sharp left uppercut as a counter to Russell's jab.
Well, it's exactly what Paulie said. You know, now we're halfway through the round, and Lomachenko's starting to, again, start to put the pressure on.
It's almost like Lomachenko feels him out the first minute and then decides to get his timing on him. Let's see if Russell can maintain the advantage here this round. So he's starting to land the hook there, Lomachenko, and he's got Russell up against the ropes.
Goes downstairs with a body shot, does Lomachenko.
His dad told him, don't go to the body so much, but that's there, and he wants to throw
And
those
he's
punches.
very effective with his body work, as we've seen throughout the amateur career and thus far in his pro career. He hurt Orlando Salido in that 12th and final round.
Yeah, very much so. Almost put him down.
A minute left in the third.
Again, Russell has a nice stiff jab, but he's got to start mixing the speed on it because it's only a matter of time before Lomachenko may start to time it over the top of the left hand. And I think that was a shot over the top right there, followed by right hook.
You see the
go ahead, Al. No, go ahead,
see
sir.
the edge 10-2 for Lomachenko, and those are solid body punches. And that's the right move for Lomachenko, correct, Paulie?
Yeah.
Final 30 seconds of the third. Straight left down the middle by Lomachenko. Utilizing his footwork, now backing Russell up. Final 10 seconds of the third round. All right, let's go to Steve Harhood with this pertinent statistic.
Well, Mo, Vasyl Lomachenko has had 2 pro bouts, 1-1, with an asterisk. And the reason this fight is so interesting is because should he win it, he would tie the all-time record of Sangsak Moingsareen for the fastest path to a championship, to a world title. Moingsareen from Thailand was a Muay Thai kickboxer. He turned pro, and in only his 3rd fight, he won the WBC super lightweight title back in 1975. Moingsareen, the record holder here, Jeff Fennick, who was a Triple Crown champion. Leon Spinks, of course, beat Muhammad Ali to win the title in only his 8th fight. Like Lomachenko, by the way, Leon Spinks, an Olympic gold medalist. And Guillermo Rigondeaux doing it most recently. He was also a tremendous, tremendous amateur. So Lomachenko looking to tie the record, if you don't count those World Series of Boxing bouts, with Sangsak Moingsareen, fastest to the title.
Getting his 2nd consecutive crack at a championship is Vasiliy Lomachenko, who gets backed up following the piston-like jab of Garry Russell Jr. as we begin round number 4.
Great report by Steve, and it's fascinating to see that and to see the fighters that got there so quickly. And this young man, Lomachenko, he is a solid fighter. Now these rounds, while to my eye Lomachenko's doing very well, the 3rd round was a very close round. And Russell's going to need, I think, to kind of pick up the pace here.
Seems like he's trying, man.
Yeah.
And lightning quick hand speed of Garry Russell on display. And while aesthetically pleasing, Lomachenko, good job of blocking them. And Lomachenko has the more thudding blows, Paulie.
Yeah.
More power.
Yeah, he seems to land with a bit more oomph, so to speak.
And again, a reminder that each round starts out the same, with Russell throwing more and being a little more effective, and then Lomachenko coming back. So we'll see if that's the pattern.
Of course, the American crowd rallying Garry Russell Jr. with chants of USA.
Russell hasn't lost for 6 years. That was in the 2007 World Championships where he won a bronze medal. So he's not used to losing, as Lomachenko isn't.
Another stiff jab through the guard by Lomachenko as they clinch. At the midway point of round number 4, let's take a look at the show stats for total punches.
Wow. Russell very low with that 12% according to show stats, and Lomachenko obviously more, though throwing not, landing more, though not throwing as many. This is a fight being fought at a very good skill level, which is what we expect from these 2 men.
At the 2006 National PAL Tournament, Garry Russell fractured both of his hands in the first fight, yet showcased his steely resolve and ended up winning all 4 fights and the gold medal. But Al, he's also had hand issues during points of his professional career as he attacks the body of Vasiliy Lomachenko.
Yeah, hairline fracture in his fight against Gusev a couple years ago, and it's a recurring issue. We asked him at the fight arena, how are your hands? He said, well, they're as good as they can be. You know, and And this is a fighter, like many others, who just expects the hand issues. We'll see if it rears its head tonight.
Under 30 seconds left in the fourth round. Final 10 seconds of the fourth frame. Lomachenko going to the body before attempting to go upstairs.
A close round here.
Time.
Earlier, we saw Mauricio Herrera in attendance. Now we'll take a look at his opponent coming up on July 12th on Showtime pay-per-view. Johan Perez, who, as we mentioned earlier, handed our main event participant Yoshihiro Kamegai his lone professional loss right here at the StubHub Center last June.
That was on ShowBox. It was an upset, as we've seen so many on ShowBox. And by the way, ShowBox heading toward its 200th episode in July. Great series. Our friend Steve Farhood, of course, along with Barry Tompkins and Raul Marquez on that, and Gordon Hall, the executive producer of it. They've done a great job with that series.
When you come in, you should shoot quick. Now up hook in my brick. I need you to go 2 or 3, but you ain't sitting down on shit. You arm punching. Your hook.
Last couple of rounds, although close, it seemed like Russell has been able to find some better moments to dictate a bit more often.
In May, his younger brother, Garry Antoine, won the National Golden Gloves Championship in Las Vegas. The Russell family has produced 4 sons who have won National Golden Gloves titles, unprecedented. And of course now, Garry Russell, as he ate that overhand left from Lomachenko, willing to win gold in the professional ranks.
That's some heredity there, isn't it?
Well, their father was a professional fighter as well, whose career was ruined due to a hunting accident. By the way, just like George Foreman,
good hook by Lomachenko.
Garry Russell Sr.'s named all his kids Garry as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, great hook by Lomachenko, but a nice counter right hand from Russell.
The difference that Russell's facing here, not just the level of Lomachenko compared to the fighters he's fought, he's facing a fighter who boxes, he moves, he's not just coming straight forward like so many of the people he fought before this.
You know, Russell had some better success in the last couple of rounds, but this round he didn't even get off to a good start. At least even in the rounds that I had him losing, he had gotten off to a pretty decent start. So far, this round has been all Vasiliy Lomachenko.
Counter right hand and the left hand to the body by Lomachenko.
That body work, I guarantee, is going to pay dividends as we head forward. And a point, Garry Russell has never been 12 rounds, and we know Lomachenko just went 12 against Salido in 12 tough rounds. This has been one of the best rounds of the fight for Lomachenko because he is really ripping to both the body and the head.
And while Russell is popping out that piston-like jab, he gets countered effectively by Lomachenko with the right hand, and there's an overhand left clubbing blow by Lomachenko.
Cleanest offense of the fight being landed by Lomachenko this round. He's really landed some solid shots this round.
And now working the body before going upstairs. And it's all Vasiliy Lomachenko as Russell shells up before countering with a right hook.
Good patience shown by Russell. He's trying to catch and shoot. It's Lomachenko switching the angles quickly.
And Lomachenko, though, when he pulls out, keeping his hands up so he doesn't get hit.
Yep. And he continues to work the body with his left hand, does Vasiliy Lomachenko.
Most dominant round for either fighter this round so far.
As we head into the final 15 seconds of the fifth. Lomachenko's body work has been exquisite in this frame. Final 10 seconds. And he continues to go upstairs now, working the jab. A great round for Lomachenko.
Stop punching.
I said walk. Son, you gotta look at me. Girl, you got to touch the body and come with your hook. You throwing the left hand by itself. Where the hook after? Hey, girl, the motherfucker can't punch with you. All right? What we gonna do this round, baby? on you. Shots shifted on your hook.
In what was a fantastic round for Vasyl Lomachenko, he would land this good straight left hand against Russell. And then later on, as the round continued, after doing great work to the body and the head, he rips that right hook after a straight left hand. And Lomachenko showing a great arsenal. And you see there, he is keeping his hands up as he pulls out so Russell can't do the catch and shoot, which Paulie pointed out.
Cognizant of that, exactly.
Yeah.
He's making the adjustment. Russell came out in an aggressive stance here this round. Let's see if he tries to get off to a quick start again.
In the last round, Lomachenko, according to show stats, landed 23 punches to only 3 by Russell.
We are into round number 6. Russell flashing the jab, going to the body with the right hand before Lomachenko pivots and goes and resets back to the center of the ring before being backed up by Russell.
You know, we see a lot of activity from Russell early in the round every time, but it's not as if a lot is landing when he's throwing all these punches.
Yeah, Lomachenko doing a good job of switching range and changing the distance.
And his father told him to do that.
Yeah, a lot of speed on display by Russell, but not effective. As we look at more show stats here, power punches landed round by round, Al.
Yeah, and that giant edge in round 5. And you can make a case for an even bigger edge, honestly, for Lomachenko. He has landed a lot of power punches.
Left hand to the body by Russell. Lomachenko ducks underneath the right hook.
Russell doing a good job of forcing the pace here this round. Even if he's not landing anything so cleanly, it's keeping Lomachenko on the back foot.
It's a left hand to the body again by Lomachenko. Russell working the body, but again, not a lot behind those punches.
And he's just not landing cleanly. Now, in this round, Lomachenko hasn't landed much cleanly, but...
Oh, there's a stiff jab.
Stop. Break. Separate.
Well, we talked about the big ring in the first fight and how Devin Alexander, Lomachenko, also a fan of using the ring when he needs to.
Final 60 seconds of the 6th round. Russell coming in as they clinch. The bigger Lomachenko pushing him off.
Here's the irony. Lomachenko with many fewer professional fights, and yet Russell looks like the amateur style and Lomachenko looks like a pro. Correct, Paulie?
And a lot of times in spots. It's Lomachenko stepping in harder with his shots while Russell trying to throw the little combinations.
Come on, fight out of it. There you go.
Veteran referee Jack Reese letting them ply their trade. Under 30 seconds left in the 6th. Lomachenko utilizing his footwork. There's a stiff counter left hand to the body by Lomachenko. Russell avoids that overhand left. Russell works the body. Changing levels. Final 5 seconds. We're halfway through this championship bout. Still to come here, live from the StubHub Center on Showtime Championship Boxing. Our own Brian Kenny will be joined by none other than the Golden Boy himself, Oscar De La Hoya, and the man who will face Erislandy Lara live on pay-per-view Saturday, July the 12th. Canelo Alvarez. We're giving you, well, a twofer coming up with Brian Kenny later on tonight.
A couple of handsome guys. Well, O'Brien's pretty good looking up there, too. That's going to be 3.
Another gorgeous night here in Southern California as summer has arrived. Of course, now living here in California, I can tell all you guys it's summer every day here.
It is. Your favorite
Oh, I love this venue.
Yeah.
And man, has it produced many memorable fights. A couple of months ago, we saw Lucas Matisse and John Molina, the leading candidate for Fight of the Year. And now we are seeing potential history being equaled as Vasyl Lomachenko attempts to win a championship in just his 3rd professional bout with an asterisk, while the undefeated Garry Russell Jr. wants to prove that his steady and, well, rather slow rise up the pro ranks would benefit him as he wants to win that vacant crown.
Russell has been so much more active in the last couple rounds, throwing a lot of punches. Whether they're all getting in remains to be seen, but he's doing some good work.
Yeah, the right hook connected by Lomachenko.
And I think keeping Lomachenko on the back foot, he's less dangerous.
Paulie, why do you think Lomachenko stopped attacking?
Well, I think it's because Russell's doing a good job of getting off first. So I think Lomachenko's thinking, he's got Lomachenko thinking a bit too much on defense.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get a chance to get off the punches he wants to.
All right, Steve Farhood, let's take a look at how you have unofficially scored this fight at the midpoint.
Well, Mo, it's hard to find rounds for Russell. When he's been the aggressor, he has not been the effective aggressor. Lomachenko, ironically, the ultimate amateur, and he's doing it with body punching, which doesn't even count in the amateur game. It's all
Step away from
Lomachenko.
each other. Step out. Box.
And again, when Russell doesn't get off first, it allows Lomachenko to get off be on the front foot and step on the gas a little bit. A lot of times Russell's offense may not have a lot on it, but the fact that he can keep Lomachenko busy, it keeps Lomachenko from getting off those power shots.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Under 90 seconds left in the 7th round.
See, now Russell not getting off, kind of backing himself up, and it's Lomachenko landed a good right hook.
Yeah, good right hook upstairs by Lomachenko.
And the jab of Lomachenko hasn't been quite as effective in the last couple rounds as it was earlier.
Under a minute remaining in the 7th. And see again, a lot of punches being thrown by Russell, but none of them connecting. Meanwhile, it's Lomachenko who attacks the body furiously.
That would be effective if Lomachenko wasn't coming back to land his own hard shots back.
Yeah, very
And there's a counter left hand right over the top of the jab, as I said before. Russell's got to change the speed on that jab.
Both of them attacking the body. Now Lomachenko going upstairs with that left uppercut. Action picking up here now, under 30 seconds left.
Those are murderous body punches by Lomachenko.
And I love the way Lomachenko changes the angle inside.
He likes to throw that lead uppercut.
He gets inside, he steps around, he gets underneath the arms. He's never standing still, even if he's working in the pocket.
Final 10 seconds of the 7th round between Vasyl Lomachenko and Garry Russell Jr.
He might give him that on the steal. I told you he's gonna try to steal it. See, when you do that, you catch 2 and find your body in your hook. Come on, man. How many times have we done this shit in jail? Huh? 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 How you feel? What round is this?
Lomachenko, especially in the latter part of that round, getting Russell on the ropes and throwing with conviction. Now those are kind of combos that didn't have as much on them as some of the body punches. But later on there, I watched him rip those body punches. And Paulie, he is really throwing those with conviction.
Yep, he's throwing him with conviction, and you see how he's stepping around afterwards. He's also forcing Russell to move out of there as it's clearly making Russell uncomfortable as he's trying to get off that space.
Garry, no mate. No mate. Stay back.
Round 8 underway. Earlier we saw Leo Santa Cruz in attendance. Garry Russell Jr. holds an amateur win over the aforementioned Leo Santa Cruz, as these two highly touted amateurs now meeting in the pro ranks.
I mentioned earlier that Russell has never gone 12 rounds. And we're heading into those rounds where we'll see if that body work by Lomachenko starts to affect him.
Both of them, the stiff jab there from Lomachenko. Both of them scheduled to compete at the 2008 U.S. Olympics. Of course, Lomachenko winning the first of his 2 Olympic gold medals. Russell, as we mentioned, was a medal favorite, unable to make weight. Did not compete. But there have been some matchups over the years between fighters who competed in the same Olympics. Chris Berg, David Tua in the 92 Olympics. Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield in the 84 Olympics. And Miguel Cotto and Mohamed Abdullayev, who Both competed in the 2000 Olympics. In fact, Abdullah beat Cotto in the Olympics, lost to him as a pro.
And of course, these two men were in different weight classes. Right. And Garry Russell said, you know, I didn't even know who Lomachenko was until 2 months ago. Hard to believe he didn't know who he was at the 2008 Olympics.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that either. And he knows him now, that's for sure.
And we talk about, you know, the scoring criteria, clean, effective punching. Russell throwing a lot of punches, Paulie, but thus far connecting on less than 10%.
Yeah, and clearly the harder punches being landed by Lomachenko. The thing is, even if he's not throwing as hard, whenever he does get off first, it at least allows him to keep Lomachenko from working. But now, as he's getting more tired, and maybe like Al said, the body punching will take effect late in the fight, Russell's having a harder time getting off first, and Lomachenko's able to back him up and really keep him standing still enough to land some really powerful shots at times.
Body work there by Russell. Lomachenko walking him down. Russell pivots away back to the center of the ring.
That was a nice move by Russell. He changed the look and he got off the ropes. But he's got to be more consistent.
Yeah, right hook by Lomachenko.
That's an interesting round because Russell's thrown over 30 more punches than Lomachenko, and we'll see if that's enough to win him the round. I don't know. Russell landing a couple of good shots.
You just don't land as cleanly as Lomachenko does. I haven't seen Lomachenko's head really snap back all fight where I say, wow, good shot by Russell, you know?
We are through 8 rounds at the StubHub Center.
Look. There's the 10th, 11th, and 12th round left. Do you understand? You got to do something.
This is now. Ни в коем случае полная концентрация, внимание, видишь, он бросает дураков, ловите на голову, на руки, повторный удар, быстро бьешь, повторяешь, все там, бьешь левой, стараешься попасть в печень, заканчивай правой. Будешь заканчивать правой, будешь попадать, ты понял?
Marco, all that water on the Corona.
Round 9 underway. Vasyl Lomachenko, a native of the Ukraine, but trains at CMC Boxing Gym in Marina del Rey, California. Of course, the most famous Ukrainian boxers, the Klitschko brothers. Meanwhile, there are currently 13 American champions, if you count heavyweight title holder Berman Stiverne, who was living in Las Vegas and in the process of becoming a naturalized U.S. citizen. Paulie, what does Garry Russell Jr. need to do in these last few rounds if he wants to become number 14?
He's going to have to, again, make a better attempt at getting off first. And here he starts a lot of these rounds good. You know, he starts a lot of these rounds backing up Lomachenko. And again, even if it's not landing greatly, it's at least allowing him to not let Lomachenko get his hands off. But again, he loses the consistency as the round progresses.
Our unofficial score at ringside is Mr. Boxopedia Steve Farhood, and through 8 rounds, he has Lomachenko ahead by 4 points.
That makes sense, and certainly Lomachenko has imposed his will in more rounds than Russell, it would seem to us in any case.
Counter right hook by Lomachenko.
I wonder if Lomachenko wants Russell at the first part of the round to throw all those punches, Paulie, and then absolutely counts on coming back.
It's almost like he's letting himself get the timing down on the speed of Russell's shots. And then he can start timing the offense.
And you see right there, he's starting to tackle him more invariably. Then he goes to the body and starts landing power punches.
Left hand to the body by Lomachenko.
And he's made the adjustment to Russell's catch and shoot with the right hook as he now gets underneath it when he throws that body shot.
Again, a lot of those punches being caught by Lomachenko's gloves or arms by Garry Russell Jr. Final minute of the 9th.
I think think one of the things that's giving Russell problems is the movement of Lomachenko. He's not seen this from the fighters he's faced as a pro, not even anything close.
Yeah, the ability, Lomachenko's ability to change range, and he has the ring where he is able to use that space in there, and it's bothered Russell a lot.
Oh, that was a trip by Lomachenko, ruled it not a knockdown by referee Jack Reese.
He was quick.
So.
Yeah, he was quick to work Jack Reese to make sure that wasn't called a knockdown. We've seen Paulie do that occasionally.
Doesn't always work, though.
No, it doesn't.
Final 10 seconds of the 9th. Good exchange to end the round. Still to come, our feature attraction, the return of the ghost, Robert Guerrero, who is sitting pensively, contemplating, I'm sure, visualizing what is to come in the main event. Last time we saw him was over a year ago in the biggest fight of his life against Floyd Money Mayweather. Made a career-high payday of $3 million. Took the rest of the year off, had some promotional issues, but he says he has recharged his batteries and ready to remain at the elite level of the welterweight division. Meanwhile, Yoshihiro Kamagai facing the ghost, and now he wants to exorcise the demon of his last appearance here at the StubHub Center, in which he suffered his lone professional loss.
That against Perez, who we saw earlier, and we're going to see Perez on July 12th against Herrera, and yeah, he hopes that his hell-bent for leather style will get to Guerrero.
He does have some pop in his punches. The welterweight from Japan getting set to meet Robert Guerrero. That's in our main event. Right now, we begin round 10 of this 12-round championship affair for the vacant WBO featherweight belt.
Now, informationally, Russell has thrown an average of almost 20 punches more per round. But the question is, has he landed effectively enough to win some of those rounds, or how many?
There he lands a shot to the body.
This is what Russell needs to do. You see, when he backs up Lomachenko like this, it keeps Lomachenko off balance enough to not be able to get off the kind of offense he wants to get off.
That was a left by Lomachenko. His left hand has not been as effective in the last 3 or 4 rounds as it was earlier.
Lomachenko walking Russell down. Russell coming forward, but again, throwing punches. And while they manage to land, they're not exactly hurting Lomachenko.
They're not. A good smother there by Russell. It seems like a lot of times when he is missing, you know, he's getting tired. He backs himself up to the ropes. A good smother by Russell there. Getting that rest he needs and keeping Lomachenko from getting off.
Yeah, that's a good tactic for him at this point in the fight.
Oh, again, a counter. Right hook upstairs by Lomachenko that was effective, and some good body work by the Ukrainian fighter. And there's Russell showing off his speed and going upstairs.
That right hook, though, lands, and there's some swelling around the left eye of Russell, courtesy of those hooks.
Stiff jab from Lomachenko.
It seems like a lot of times Russell's shots are just arm punches.
Another body shot by Lomachenko.
Good body shots by Vasyl Lomachenko there.
Under a minute left in the round.
I think he's starting to slow Russell down a bit with the body punches and some of those that work on the inside.
You know, there's been moments where Russell seems to slow down, and then next round he comes right back. So it's hard to tell at this point in the fight. But Vasyl Lomachenko's having himself a really good round.
Again, the counter right hook by Lomachenko backs Russell up.
And again, it's been a round where Russell seemed to have started it pretty well, and Lomachenko's gotten the timing down as we went along.
Another right hook to the chin by Lomachenko.
Russell's got to watch himself. He's getting to the point where he's starting to look a little bit more fatigued.
Oh, and there was a massive right hand by Lomachenko as we are headed to the championship rounds.
Hey, Garry. stupid shit. And look, dumb shit, girl, this is your fight, man. This is for food. Look, he gonna come. But why are you slipping to the body shot not taking it? Huh? Look at me. Why are you slipping here not putting your body shot? Please answer that. Huh? Girl, you need these 2 rounds.
Well, punctuating what was a very good round for him, Vasiliy Lomachenko is able to land this right hook. That was almost a straight right hand and pushed Garry Russell back. Here it would come again. You see another look at it, and Garry Russell thrown backwards, and good counterpunch by Lomachenko.
11.
So we're into the championship rounds. The vacant WBO featherweight title up for grabs. Neither of these 2 amateur standouts have been knocked down in their respective professional careers.
Lomachenko came into this fight a slight favorite at about 7-5, and he's living up to that so far.
Double jab by Lomachenko.
Now, in many of these rounds, as I pointed out, Russell's been active. I can't imagine too many rounds are being scored for Russell, but we don't know.
You know, Russell trying to be aggressive here, but he's not getting off as many shots. And if he doesn't, Lomachenko does get off. And the problem is when Lomachenko gets off first, he's more accurate than Russell. He lands.
Right.
There's Russell crowding Lomachenko. Lomachenko able to move out of the way before they clinch. Jack Reese allowing them to fight out of the clinch.
To show you what a big jump up it's been, the last opponent that Russell fought, Miguel was 15-7-2, had lost 3 of his last fights before the fight and had been knocked down 5 times. This is a whole different kettle of fish.
And he took the fight on 3 days' notice. I worked that fight.
Oh, very good point. Okay.
Oh, beautiful. Left hand to the body, followed by the left uppercut on the inside by Lomachenko. There's that left uppercut again.
Again, it's like we said earlier, Al, the body work may have slowed Russell down, and we're at that point in the fight now where the body work starts to pay those dividends.
Efficient jab by Lomachenko, strafing the body now of Russell with those shots.
Russell's body language clearly a bit more uncomfortable these last couple of rounds.
Now, and a right hook connects by Lomachenko. A good round here in round number 11. And again, Russell with the counter, but Lomachenko's defense, Paulie, the footwork, the distance, the range, able to avoid the brunt of the attack.
And these body shots are starting to land clean now, guys. Before they were landing on the arms, sometimes they would land clean, but they are starting to land underneath the arms now because Russell's offense is slowing down, so Lomachenko can get underneath while Russell's throwing.
And Russell in a place, a territory in round 11 he's never been before.
Yeah, Russell hitting nothing but air with these shots, while Lomachenko efficient, economical, but landing effectively.
And trust me, when you're tired, the worst thing you want to do is miss, because you will pick your spots to get off your punches, and you want them to count. You hope they count because you're fatigued. So when you miss, it's all the worst feeling.
Final 10 seconds of the 11th round. Exchange on the inside. We're going to the 12th and final round of this championship affair. Not a bad 1-1 pro fighter, huh, guys?
That's it. Good job, good job. Is everything okay? Do you remember what to do?
Last round, baby, last round.
We need to repeat the attack. Repeat the attack.
Man, it's your fight to win or lose, son. I'm telling you what the fuck to do. Son, go out there when you get out for a combination. Boom, boom, boom. Don't take off after that combination. Be set to throw another right behind him. Keep your hands tight and throw another.
The crowd appreciating the efforts that they have seen here tonight. Again, two of the best amateur fighters of the previous decade. Many herald Vasyl Lomachenko as maybe the best amateur fighter ever, and right now perhaps on the verge of equaling the mark of the fastest path to a championship, Al.
And we heard frustration in the corner of Garry Russell from his father, and a very opposite tenor in the other corner for Vasyl Lomachenko and his dad.
Lomachenko getting on the inside, firing off the combination.
Give Russell credit, though. He's still trying, man.
Yes, he is.
Outgunned, but he's still trying. He's still coming forward, trying to make this fight here in the last round.
And I'm sure he understands that he is likely so far behind in this fight that he would need something dramatic, knockdowns or a knockout to win.
A little bit low. You okay?
Jack Reese.
Need time or you okay? All right? Fine, keep him up.
Warning Russell to keep the shots above the belt line. It has been a clean fight, but now things may be falling apart mentally for Garry Russell Jr.
Two really low blows there.
Oh, the frustration probably kicking in too.
Yeah. And also, he just might be tired. He can't get the punches up.
Good point.
Lactic acid building up as Russell goes to the body, countered by Lomachenko, leaning in, and Russell firing off that left hand to the liver. Now Russell with a right, countered with an effective right hook by Lomachenko upstairs.
And in his last fight against Salido, a fight in which he had suffered in many rounds, Lomachenko was able to close the show very strongly. So he's used to this as a pro already from his other fight.
Lomachenko's manager quipped the only thing they learned in the Salido fight was how to throw low blows.
Yeah, exactly. And
under a minute now left in the fight.
And Lomachenko closing quickly in this fight.
Russell walked into a short shot there.
And again, Russell leans in and gets tagged by Vasyl Lomachenko.
You know, we've praised Lomachenko a lot, and he's probably winning the fight, but, you know, we can't go easy on Russell either. He's shown some real guts, some character, and displayed skill throughout. Just because Lomachenko might be a better fighter doesn't make Russell a bad fighter.
No. Came in undefeated in 24 fights. Say what you will about his level of opponents. Was an amateur champion at 16, but now Lomachenko in the final 15 seconds. Unloading on Russell. Russell misses with the right hook. But they're both swinging. It's Lomachenko imposing his will and skill on Garry Russell Jr. Terrific performance for Lomachenko. They certainly believe that history has been equaled here tonight, Al Bernstein.
It was a very consistent and excellent effort by Lomachenko. And at the end of the day, Garry Russell, who had not seen anything like this as a pro, and of course he's very disappointed now, assuming he may lose this fight. He just had not seen anything like Lomachenko, and the fighters he fought didn't prepare him.
What was the biggest difference in the fight, Paulie?
I think a lot of that, what Al said, resonates, man. You know, Russell had not seen this kind of quality in his professional career. Regardless of it being Lomachenko's third pro fight, he had seen a lot of Garry Russell's in the amateurs.
And a look at the numbers, Russell busier, of course, but landing at much less a percentage, and so many body punches adding to that power total that Lomachenko has. And we'll go inside the ropes to give you, in microcosm, what this fight was about. And what it was about was a varied attack from Lomachenko, using combinations like this, straight left hands, and the straight left was an important weapon for him, but also there was the body work. He landed downstairs so effectively early in the fight, right hooks. You see the variety of what he's doing, and throws in the uppercut as well. He was physically stronger than Garry Russell and was able to land better shots and more of them.
Here's an interesting stat, Paulie. Garry Russell Jr. never landed 10 or more punches in any round, according to show stats.
Well, I'll tell you this. In the last 24 fights for both of them, who's fought the better opposition? You know, we talk about Russell's record being 24-0, and he was the pro for a longer time, but did he really fight better opposition than Lomachenko, considering Lomachenko's amateur record?
Yep. And Orlando Salido, being a wily veteran with over 50 fights, a champion in his own right, who lost the belt on the scales. And speaking of the stat we just mentioned, Al, let's take a look at the punches landed round by round, and there's the totals.
Yeah, and this is, you know, the show stats, what it demonstrates here is how those rounds generally went, and we can see that Lomachenko, over the course of this fight, in more rounds, was able to do better work.
All right, so the decision has been rendered. Let's now make it official. Let's go to the man himself, Jimmy Ledden Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a majority decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Lisa Jampa, scores about 114 to 114, even a draw. Overruled by judges Max DeLuca and Pat Russell. They both scored about 116 to 112 in favor of the winner. And now, the WBO featherweight champion of the world, Vasiliy Lomachenko.
I don't know if I agree with the majority decision, but Vasiliy Lomachenko has done it. He has equaled the mark of Thailand's Sansek Muangsarin, who won a junior welterweight title in his third pro fight in 1975. Here in 2014, Lomachenko has done it. He went all in his pro career, and it's now bore fruit.